Hello and welcome to a live broadcast using a hangout-on-air. I'm joined by the master of hangout events, Ronnie Bincer, and Travis Taylor, who is here. He's doing all of the very, very clever things that we've got going on in the background. I'm going to tell you who's in the room in a second. We're at the Social Media Marketing World Conference 2015. Yee-hoo! This is San Diego. This is the boat. I'm going to tell you about this in a little while that we went to last night. Ship. It's a ship, apparently. It's not a boat. It's not a boat. That's not a trap, Hagen. Apparently it's a ship. And okay. And in the room, so we've got Wade, and we've got Jeff, and we've got Ian, who you may not know yet, so we're going to introduce you to Ian, and we've got Mark Trapping. And, oh yeah, look at this. Travis is there. Okay. And we have David Amelan, and we have George Cohn, and we have Mary Stovall, and we have Ray Hills. So, and we have you. We've got two cameras. You. This place, this event, is run by Mike Stelzner and the crew, and you have Phil Mershon. And it's a social media examiner event called Social Media Marketing World. Now, I'm going to ask you to participate very much in what we're about to do. And it's going to be winging it a little bit. But together, I think that we can show what is really going on with Google+, because you're here, and the world doesn't necessarily know quite what we're up to. And I'm going to come on to tell you lots of things that we found out in the experience that we're having about how people are seeing Google+. And I have to say, I'm surprised and I'm delighted, and I want to share that with you. I'm going to come on and tell you how Chris Brogan made me cry second year in a row because he's just an amazing guy. But I'm going to ask you to do this. I've just mentioned 3 people's names. In fact, I mentioned lots of people's names. But as these people come in, I'm going to ask you to tag them. I'm going to ask you to connect with them. I'm going to ask you to really be social. And that being a cliche, be social. And Google Plus is an amazing place for that, but a lot of people are not seeing quite how much is going on. So, first person I mentioned, and the first shout out is to Mike Stelzner and the Social Media Examiner. Because I'm going to ask you if you know them, if you want to connect with them, plus mention their name into the event thread as you're watching this live hangout. And maybe you want to tweet them, and maybe you want to tweet the show and say, hey, we've got this going on. The hashtag for the show is hashtag SMMW15. Got a thumbs up from Ronnie Bincer. So that's hashtag SMMW15. So you can use that on Twitter, you can use that on Facebook, you can use that on Google+. So I'm going to really, this is the show to engage, to show what we are about as a community, so let's call people in. So we have Mike Stelzner. We have Phil Mershon. They've been organizing the show from Social Media Examiner. Thank you to the pair of them for giving me this opportunity last year, because it is mind-blowing. It's an incredible networking experience, but it's something that I'd love you to be part of next time, but you're part of this one now virtually, which is pretty good. I also mentioned Chris Brogan. Now you can plus mention Chris. He knows. If you follow me on Facebook, if you don't follow me on Facebook, at Martin Sherv. I'm at Martin Sherv most places, in Instagram, in Twitter, LinkedIn as well. Chris, I'll tell you the story now. He is able to adjust my view, and if you follow him, adjust your view. If you haven't, sign up to his newsletter, I do 2 courses with him. Every day I read Chris Brogan. He makes me kinder. He makes me more patient. And he helps me to slow down. And that's been one of my big things here, is to slow down and to appreciate exactly what's going on in the moment. And magic things happen when you do that. So Chris, he knows this already. His superpower is helping people. I can't remember what I put on Facebook. Helping people not to be their own worst enemy, essentially, is what it is. That's what he does. And he's brilliant. And I'm going to shout out to more people as we go. I'm going to come and say hello to everyone in the room first. David Amland.
Hey, how you doing?
Thank you for being here, David.
It's a pleasure.
Conferences, eh? Kind of intense experiences, because you're meeting people sometimes. Myself and Ronnie Bincer, this is the first time we've met in real life at this conference after 3 years of interacting.
In fact, everybody here I've never met until in real life until this week.
Yeah. So even though you're not here, David, you're integral to Plus Your Business.
Thank you.
Everybody in the room, and so I just wanted to make sure we connect. And you know, this is a special moment.
David, I'm going to be, when I'm speaking today about Hangouts, I'm going to be referencing one of your quotes, which is, "Being authentic is hard to fake." That's
Thank you.
That's nice. That's nice. So I'm referencing you tomorrow as well, and I'm going to be referencing you, David, around, and I have your picture up there. Wade may get a little mention as well, but I'm going to have you up there for Find Your Uniqueness.
Thank you.
So thanks for being here. Coming across to George. Welcome, George.
Good morning. Yeah, I really wanted to be down there with you guys in physical presentation, but thank you for bringing me into this, because this is, I guess, the next best thing.
It is. It really is. And those that are very well connected with me will know that I've just sent a message to people and thank George and Marilyn very much for all the support. And on the weekend we spent time filming. They came to my comedy show. They sat there, and I don't know whether it endured or enjoyed, but whichever way, it was a great experience. At some point you will see the comedy show, because I know people want that. At some point you'll see me surfing as well. I promise that. It's just,
hey, I stayed awake for your bit, Martin.
You stayed awake. I know. It wasn't a long show. So thank you. And Mary Stovall, great to see you.
Hi, thank you for inviting me in. It's great to be here.
Yeah, love to see you. Mary has helped so many people move forward with Google+, and that's what it's about. And we're going to be talking quite a lot about this, and about the attitude here being, how can I help? And Mary has been exemplary. She's been amazing. So thank you. And coming across to Ray Hiltz.
How you doing, Martin? Well, Martin, Wade, everybody's there. Jeff, Mark, Ronnie. Wow, man, I feel like really lonesome over here.
You're part of it. You're part of it. So, let's tell you a few stories. The event didn't start yesterday. The event started on Tuesday. And as it happened, last year I connected with Chris Brogan, and I collected him from the airport this year, and we spent some time, because you really want to pay attention to people. You want to make sure that they know that they're valued, but also that you have that dedicated time, that conversation. So my day started, my event really started on Tuesday, Chris. I then came to the event then in the evening and Tuesday evening, and then shout-outs will come. Jeff was there, and I can't even remember how many people. And I have to say, what happens here is you don't get that much sleep, because your brain is going. Even though I went to bed probably about 10 o'clock last night, I was up at 1 around the hallways and meeting with different people. And I want to tell you this is the most useful thing that's happened, was me not being able to sleep last night. And then let me tell you that story. As I said, this is totally unscripted. This Google Plus thing, everybody. If you're watching this, you probably love it as well. And we love it because we feel so connected. There's a lot of people out there that don't understand that it's really about the ability to connect. And I went to the ship last night and spoke to people. Now, I'm going to go back a step to the night before. I came to the conference expecting to have a negative reception about Google+. And I'm going to be very open about this. It's been a tough 3 weeks. And it's been a tough 3 weeks because people simply don't understand what we're doing. They don't. And we have to basically just keep doing what we're doing and keep connecting. Because those that are seeing it are having an amazing experience. So 3 weeks, me coming to the conference, I knew it would be tough. Mike Stelzner did a beautiful thing by setting it up. It's like, hey, Google+, you guys are going to be paying attention. And he knows I appreciate that. But I, on the first night, was having conversations with people, and my negativity, my defensiveness, and subtly, I noticed it was coming through, and I felt that it took. You probably had the same thing. I don't know if have you had the same thing a little bit?
Yeah.
And I said, and myself and Ronnie sat there and said, we've got to be positive. We've got to be moving forward. It has, because it's awesome. So we have to feel that. So went to the ship last night. And I changed my mindset. And I have to say, every conversation was people going, I'm really interested in Google+. Oh, Google+ is amazing. I follow you on Google+. I read your blog all the time. Oh, business card, plus your business. I've been to your blog. I was like, wow, what a lot has happened in a year. A lot of people knew or know who I am and in relation to what I'm doing. It's David Amland, find your uniqueness. And I'm going to be talking about the surfing. It's coming together. It really is. And we just have to keep doing what we do well. My faith, if it was ever faltering, it's absolutely restored by the response of the people here. And it's about the Google ecosystem, and it's about connecting with you and connecting with everybody here. And last night, I went, okay, I start to see our role really as unofficial evangelists of Google+. And maybe Google Drive, and maybe search and maps and all of these things, and that's what we're doing. And it's an emotional thing. But it really is happening. And there's a movement. But the more you express your emotion, the more you let people know that you're part of this, then the more people will go, ah, there's something happening. Ted Rubin, if you want to tag him, we did an interview a little while ago, 2-3 weeks ago. Super guy, great interview. And I know many of you shared it and people loved it. I've got a great picture of myself. Sue Zimmerman created a sign, and Ted's holding the sign. There's a pair of us, there's myself and Ted, together with these two signs that have hashtags. In fact, maybe somebody would even go and get the hashtag sign. If you'd like to tag Sue Zimmerman and let her know that we're talking about it, she is the Instagram marketing expert. She's amazing. So, back to the first night, Anna Bennett. She is Pinterest consultant. Why am I saying search terms? They're both now level 5 in the Plus Your Business Academy because they've evidenced in search that they are those things. Mark Trapagan, Denny LaBelle, Lee Smallwood, David Amland, Ronnie, myself, and there's another person who you may not know yet, Brian. He's on the first page for marketing consultant. So we're doing something. You're part of it, but we're connecting in real world and we're connecting across channels. Ted Rubin, everybody loved that interview. Brian Clark from Copyglot, what a nice guy. But that interview, I'm going to put it out really, really soon. These people are, they're all okay. They're all okay. And if you're not okay with what you're doing, or you're worried about what people are thinking about, oh, is Google Plus getting you? Just be okay with it. Now I have a last bit. I know I'm talking a lot. I know a heck of a lot. But I might do one more bit if and then we're going to bring people in. We're going to go. Wait, don't make that face, Wade Harmon. The last bit. The last bit. Okay, all right. Is so last night I got up because of conversations I had with Steve Rayson. If you want to tag him from BuzzSumo, he's going to give me one-on-one on BuzzSumo, and I want to show, and I have as an event so you can watch it as well, because it's a really super cool tool and people love it, and we're not using it, so we need to educate you on exactly what to do. I'm getting a thumbs up by Mark Traphagen. So, Steve Rayson, and he's in the pro membership. He loves Google+. So, he influenced me, and somebody else I was chatting with, a chap called Matt. There's a few people. A chap called Matt, a chap called Greg. I haven't got their surnames down. And I said, when people are asking, so what about Google+? What's going to happen? And this, because I had a positive mindset, I said, just out of interest, do you use an iPhone? And most people that were asking the question, if not exclusively, that didn't really understand, were using iPhones. So I got up at 1 o'clock and I wandered around the hotel lobby, and I saw somebody had an iPhone clipped to their belt. This is like probably now 1:30 in the morning. So this weirdo coming up to me going, well, yeah. And I said, do you use an iPhone? I said, would you mind if you just started it up and you showed me an iPhone? I haven't used an iPhone for how many years? 4 or 5 years. I know, right? And I looked at it and I said, can you show me like the home screen? Okay, so let me open the home screen. I said, so what do you use for mail? Where's the button for mail? And it said, that's the mail. I said, so that's not your Gmail, is it? That's just an iMail thing, right? I said, what do you use for the SMS? I said, that's the button. So that's just a text thing. And I went, okay, so what about Google+? Not on this phone at all. So I got my Android phone out, and I looked, and I go, I've got my Hangouts, which is where I do my texting from, and I've got the Photos, which is where all my photos goes, another Google product, and I've got all the other things there, and I've got the Google+ stream. And I looked and went, oh, you're in a different ecosystem. Of course you can't see what we see. Of course you can't. Because you don't have that experience. And it was Steve Rayson in that conversation that I just went, I need to do a positioning of why people are seeing in the wider world Google+ as being something that is isolated the stream, whereas we have a much more integral experience of it. And that's what I'm going to be doing and bringing into the presentation is a way, and hopefully we'll be able to record it and be able to see what we do, but a way of showing that they have a radically, and it's okay. So all we have to do is, plus mentioning people in, letting the world know we've got a community that is engaged and loves what we, loves what you do, loves what we do, loves what Ronnie does, loves what David does, loves the connection. You've got to connect and allow people to feel part of it. That's it. And that's been the big shift for me since I've been here, or one of them. It's a journey, and it's still, every day, it's a journey. So, on that note, your thoughts, Ronnie? Actually, do you know what I'm going to do?
Tell me.
We're going to bring Ian in first. Ronnie's going to take over for a little bit. I'm going to step out. Go on. Ronnie's in charge. What do you want to do, Ronnie?
Hi, everyone.
Hey, Ronnie.
How's it going out there?
Go on, get down there.
Is everyone having a good time?
It's cool. It's cool. And I love the way you were dropped into it.
Yeah. This is Jeff.
Hey, everyone.
Hi,
It's
Jeff.
fucking hot in this room. I'm telling you.
I think they must have. I think the air
Fat boy,
conditioning's
it's
off so that
hot.
we don't affect the sound. I'm guessing.
I didn't do that.
You didn't do that?
It feels hot.
Oh, it's not feeling hot. It is hot.
Okay. Anyways, Jeff and I met last year in person, and he, out of this whole group, was the first one I ever met in real life, or in person. And what was funny is just the other day, what was it, yesterday, I think. I'm starting to mumble like Travis, like Martin. I had just met Travis And he said, this is the first time we've met. And I said, no, it's not. But it really was. And to me, the magic of Hangouts is still amazing because of the way that you feel like you really know the people when you first meet them in real life. And that, to me, is just mind-boggling. Because all these people that are around, I know them because we've met through Hangouts. And that's one of the features that is part of Google+, and it makes it such a valuable place to connect and find people you resonate with. Right, Jeff?
Right, exactly. I'm trying. I'm not checking my. I'm trying. I'm doing this new Periscope app, and I wanted to get you talking on it. Yeah, I'm doing live right now, video on Periscope. So the new Twitter thing. So
good.
I wasn't checking my messages.
I wasn't sure. I don't know. But Jeff and I first. Someone asked me where we first met, and was it
South by Southwest.
But before that, how had we met?
I hired you to help me with Google Hangouts.
Oh.
I think you owe me some hours, by the way.
Yeah, probably did. So anyway,
you never finished that. I joined your group, and it was like, I see it's owing me money.
I know. Okay. So we didn't. We can cancel. Rewind that part or something like that. So we had met, and then we spent some time together in South by Southwest in Austin, and now it's the next thing. We're here at Social Media Marketing World. I've been honored to be asked to represent Hangouts and talk about them, which is coming up in, I'm going to look at the clock, in about an hour. Actually, I'm doing a rehearsal in an hour. We're not sure if we're going to actually do any live activity from there, but I'm going to try.
It's like Meerkat, but official by Twitter.
Owned by Twitter.
Yeah, I signed up, but I haven't been allowed in yet.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Is that iPhone?
Yeah, it's an iPhone.
Okay.
Yeah, iPhone.
Well, cool. So I just want to really emphasize the fact that when you do meet people in Hangouts, it is an amazing experience, and when you get to know them, when you do transition to the place where you're meeting them in person, it's really not that big of a deal, even though you can be amazed that you know them that well when you do meet them face-to-face. That's one of the key takeaways that I still continue to be amazed by with the power of this Hangout stuff.
Right. I just second that because like Patrick, never met before. I mean, you're the only one I've met automatically.
Do you know what they because it being Welsh, we're going to cut shot.
Yeah.
Laughing. We're going to, this is now.
It's not.
Ronnie's not. Are you stepping out?
I could do it.
Spin the beard back. Okay,
I'll just do it.
And then we're going to the top. Okay, and then we're switching. We'll bring Mark and Eric. So, how are you finding the show?
Great.
Sweaty, apparently.
Yeah, very sweaty.
Don't drip on me.
You've got your umbrella with you.
Would you like to tell people what you do? Because people may not know you that are watching. They know these guys.
Yeah, I'm just this random bloke from the UK. So it's my first time here, and I've been following social media marketing world for ages, and finally I've got to go. So after an 11-hour flight, which was lovely. So yeah, my name's Ian Anderson-Gray. I run a blog called Seriously Social, which is I-A-G on me.
Seriously?
Seriously, yeah. I'm seriously social. And I kind of blog about social media tools, so I'm a bit of a tools geek, which is quite funny because there's another tools geek called Ian.
Ian Cleary, tag Ian in it. Tell him that. I almost put out on Facebook the room, my room number, but I was thinking that may not be something. Yeah, that's not good. But tag Ian Cleary in it, so he's got Razor Social.
Yeah.
Have you connected with him yet?
Yeah.
No,
we actually met at Heathrow yesterday.
So he's in the academy. He's moving. He's in level 3, I think. Now. So yeah. So good. Well, great, wonderful. And so Wade, how have you gone? What have you been up to here?
Oh man, I've just been hanging out, meeting all the people that I've been talking with on Hangouts. It's just it solidifies that relationship process when you can speak to them face to face, and that's what I'm here for. I mean, the sessions are great, but we're going to get recordings of that. I'm going to be pouring over that when I get the recordings, but I'm here for the people. Just kind of build the relationships.
Yeah.
I didn't know what Ronnie looked like from below the neck.
And I have like
He has legs.
And Wade is much taller than I expected.
Wade is taller than I expected. Yeah.
I've heard that all day and all day.
Yeah.
Actually,
Not as tall as Ryan Hanley.
No,
yeah.
Everybody's like,
He was a
crikey.
sucker.
Yeah.
we had a conversation.
Giant.
We had a big conversation about height, didn't we? I was warning people I'm only 5'4", because that's usually the first thing people say to me. Wow, you're short. Yeah,
I did a lot of.
Nice to meet you too.
A lot of Instagram pictures up Ryan's nose.
Good. I'll tell you what I did this morning at 6 a.m. was go. Oh, by the way, I'm in San Diego. I'm wearing flip-flops here. It was a longer walk than expected, but I went on a walk. I'm a person I connected with that I wanted to connect with. Just happened to be there was Eric Tung. So if you want to tag him in as well, I don't know how much he does on Google, but really, these are all lovely people. The people that you want to know. And what this is about is reaching out and connecting with the people that are incredibly active on Facebook, incredibly active on Twitter. Let's let them know we can help them. That's what it comes down to. And I said to Eric, I said, here's the business card. Do you want to just show it to Thomas? Well done, Thomas, for the business card. I'm going to give a few shout-outs. Do you want to just reach over? These business cards, great. So if you know Thomas from the community, we gave it, and it's like, if you need some support, if you've got a really key blog post that needs to be shared, let me know. There's that. And Eric is somebody. There's very different view out there of marketing to necessarily what a lot of us do and a lot of us are talking about. So it's great to connect with people. Now, quick few shout-outs. Thanks to Coleman for everything that he's doing. John Settles, thanks so much. So Coleman Carpenter, thanks John Settles for so much for guidance. And we're working together on shaping up really the business side of Flushing Business. And Raymilyn, I don't know if Raymilyn you ever watched the videos, but you can tag Raymilyn. She's my assistant. She's just fantastic. So thank you so much. Right, shall we do a little switch around? I'm going to move back over this way, and then we're going to have one of each on either side.
Is it hot?
Yeah. Oh, actually, I got lucky. Oh, Ronnie, you can stand. Well, okay, go on. Let's do a switch around. Well, we'll actually have a seat each then. Go on. Take care. See you all later on.
Thanks, guys. All right.
Stone Temple Consulting time. Oh, that must be a good time.
I thought it was the Mark. It's the Mark and Eric show, actually.
So it's all about Stone Temple Consulting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
So you don't have to sit on there. You sit on there.
Yeah, there we go.
What's happening? What's going on?
Oh, it's been whirlwind already. Just exactly what Wade said. Just meeting all these people here has been awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the second time I get face-to-face to you, with you too, which is it's a really great tip.
Here's the funny thing. Didn't we have meatballs both times?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. So that's what
we should make a movie called Meatballs. What do you think?
And cheesy rice.
No. Hello, all of you. It's different having a camera over there because I don't look into the computer because it's not streaming in.
Mm-hmm.
So, has anyone got any questions on the thread? Has anyone got any questions? Anyone want to say anything? And we're going to run probably we've got some shout outs and things like that as well. Very different show. We're going to run until the energy runs out. Saturday. So 45 minutes and whatever. So, anyone want to say anything? Anybody who is about? That has questions, comments? Like, is Martin going to be quiet at any point?
Well, I think it's pretty cool you're actually connecting there. And you're quite right. There is a perceived difference between what we see within the G+ environment and everything that's attendant to that, and what people outside that actually perceive. And part of the difficulties they face comes from that gap in their perception.
So let's talk about, Dave, from your perspective, what do you think is the benefit of being on Google+?
Well, there's a lot of benefits which come down to technicalities and how you use the tools that it gives you, but essentially there's only one which has ramifications across the entire ecosystem of digital, and that's the connections with people.
Yeah.
You actually build relationships which have real value, and that impacts on everything else at a very deep level. And that's what affects everything which we see. That's the acceleration, the energy, the connection, the cognitive enrichment, all those things are because of that connection. Step outside that, and we're left back to the 20th century world of marketing, where we broadcast things and think we need to reach numbers to get 0.023% of a conversion. If we're not getting that, we need to reach more numbers, and we need to create more noise. And every time it doesn't work, we say, oh, this doesn't work, I've got to amplify it, and do more, and expand more. And it's not the case. Things have become hyper-personalized.
Yeah. And I think for those, if there are people watching the show that don't know David Hanland, David is the world authority in Google semantic search and semantic search. Look, so David's perspective is unique, I feel.
Yeah. We can even agree that David is unique. Can
yeah.
we agree on that too?
Guys, I'm not sure how to take that.
But what you bring, I mean, where I was going with it is that you're in Plus Your Business. You've been a wonderful support this week, and Mary was saying thanks, and thanks, David, because it's been a ride for 3 weeks, and I feel the wave is just about going, and we've paddled and we've paddled and we've paddled, and we're just about getting up, and this sets the trajectory for the next year. This is what it did last year. This is what it's going to do this year. And so David's level 5 in the academy, and he's an absolute asset, and he knows how much I appreciate him. Well, I hope he does. So thank you. I'm going to give a shout out to something, and I'm going to ask you both some other questions. Andy, I'm going to ask you to type it, and because his surname is Crest with a T. Crest O Dina. Cresto Dina. If you want to tag him, you guys know.
Met Andy for the first time last night. Yeah.
He's great, isn't he?
He is.
So I had some breakfast with him. There's other people, and I'll tell those stories again, and how it's all about helping each other.
Right.
It's all about helping each other, and that's why this is such a special experience. Because you already have connections,
right?
But it takes those further. So do you want to describe what how people have been? What have you been doing? I know you were chatting with Mike Stelzner earlier.
Well, the thing that struck me is that at the end of the keynote, first he had sorry, I'm going to blank on the names. The guy in the orange shirt come out. Phil. Yeah. Phil, right. And he's the guy you talk to if you want to speak in a future event. And then they had a second Mike come out, right? And he talked. Sorry? Ambassador Mike Bruni. That's right. Thank you. Good to have a peanut gallery here, especially when it's Ronnie Bincer. But and there's 20 minutes of content, which was just all about, okay, here's how you're going to network here.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and they do that for you, and then you go up and you introduce yourself to Mike Stelzner, as Mark and I did, and we both had some online interaction with him before, but we introduce ourselves and we're chatting with him, and it's like, it's okay, well, this is who you got to see about this, and here's the assistant, and she'll set you up, and there's this real mentality of connect, network, really build meaningful relationships, and it's actually done extremely well. I haven't seen it done this well at any other conference.
No. It is that. That's what it was last year. Right. Mike is amazing.
No, it's brilliant.
Yeah. Circle count, Chris.
Oh, is he there?
He's there. He's funny.
Hi, Chris.
All I'm saying is you're funny. We've had a conversation before. So, great. I'm just going through I see Sheila, and I can see Nikki, and I see Matthew, and I see you guys doing and Johan, and Craig, and Julie. Oh, good to see you all. Just going through the comment thread. And as I say, if you want to tweet that we're talking about different people, if you want to tag them on Facebook, let's say that something's going on.
Can I add something I think that relates to Google Plus, Martin? Is that you are defined to a large extent. You're defined by the social group that you have around you.
Yeah.
And it's not all that defines you, but we're all affected by that more than we think. And so it makes sense to begin to bring people around yourself who are going to be great influences, who are going to teach you things, who are going to challenge things that you have as maybe assumptions.
Yeah.
And that happens when you come here and you make connections at a conference. But it's also, I think, one of the big values that we've gotten out of Google Plus is we've gathered around ourselves, we've gone out and we made those connections and built community, built social groups that every day when I'm there in conversations, I get challenged again, I learn something, I find out about something I would have known about otherwise. There's so much value to that that people want to tap into.
Well, the conversation with Andy this morning, David, you'll like this. It ended up surfacing Google, and I think it's Feud, FEUD.com.
Okay.
Do you know this? So he was giving me. I've learned. I was there making notes.
I know what this is.
Yeah,
the
it's a game.
Yeah.
So I think it's Feud.com, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a game show. Just Google it. We're going to do something fun with it. But the point is, I sat down, had breakfast with Andy as he was demoing something else, and I'm making notes because I'm learned what I'm missing. And I'm missing loads, and if I'm missing loads, you might be missing loads as well. And it's not, and it's continuously like that. And this little thing that he then came up with then is a fun way of understanding search. It's a way of guessing and almost mapping what do you want to explain?
Well, it's basically it's patterned around the Family Feud game,
Right.
Google Feud, but you're trying to guess what Google's auto suggest in search. Rather than survey says, people says what does Google auto suggest? Which auto suggest is partly, at least, largely made up of what people actually type in search results. So it creates a very interesting game.
And the way Andy was positioning it was, this is tapping into the global mind and what people are searching for, and this is what's kind of profound. And what we're all doing with social, and it is a journey, and it's the personal development, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
It's tremendous amount.
Never stops.
It never stops. And the idea that you can use extra tools to find out, to map, and to build a better map of what is happening allows you to make better decisions because you're better informed. But you have to find the information. You have to be there and pay attention when people are giving the information. And as I said, that was and I just went, it's useful. But unless you're sitting down just having breakfast, you don't necessarily get that. We don't necessarily, or we don't see it in the stream because we can't see everything all of the time. So it's a way of surfacing sometimes what's most important. Now we're at the 11:38 minute mark. Travis, I'm wondering if we could do tips and shout-outs for the community. Yeah.
Sure.
So, I'm coming back to the Sheila. I hope all is well. I hope all is good because I haven't seen her for a little bit. So we've been interacting on threads. So I hope you're doing good. We say that over here. These Americans got me saying this. I hope you're doing good.
We're teaching you to speak English.
David.
That's awesome.
I dropped my teas now. I actually dropped my teas. Can I have a bottle of water? Honestly, it's taking 2 months.
Yeah, but you still say in it.
In it, yeah.
Are you supposed to leave your teasing with the TSA people before you sort of are allowed in the country?
Yeah, you don't want to tease with the TSA. Trust me. Turning up. I turned up at the airport this time. I haven't told the story. And it's an 11-hour flight. You go in and you're tired, and I can't remember what day it was, what time of day it was, but he's like, okay, I just want to get through. And he looked, and you got the first point of contact on the board, and the guy looked and said, yeah, and passed me for the first interview sort of thing. It was like, so I didn't just get straight in. Because I'm on a 6-month visa and so on. Long story short, he said, what did you do here in 2010? I said, I went to stand-up comedy college. And he looked, I just went...
And he said, you're joking!
You couldn't, it's like you couldn't make it up. And he's just like, sit down. Alright, right. 2 more
Okay, Mr.
times
Mr.
going up there until eventually
Mr.
it was like,
Sherrington, we want to see your rubber nose. And
it better be funny or you're not coming in. We're not subjected Americans to this. And yeah, so it's quite, I don't know, we got the best. It was an experience this time. Just do the shout outs, Travis.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Tips
First. Tips for everybody.
Right. Ready?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Will I see them? Yeah, well. Okay, so a level 1 tip for you all. So the Academy, we're evolving. If you want to know what's happening, reach out to Mary Stovall in particular if you want to know what's going on with things. We're progressing things over the next couple of weeks, but please reach out to Mary and have a chat if you're interested in what we're doing. So level 1, for those who are in level 1 or taking the level 1, look to format your post using asterisks, underscores, and strike-throughs either side of a word or phrase. Asterisks will create it as bold, underscores will create italics, and strike-throughs will do a strike through the whole word. You can use them in combination. Okay, level 2, Kindle attention. That's a visual pun, that is. See that? Look at that, visual pun. Well done, Raymond. That was great. Level 2 is very much about building up the engagement. So Kindle attention, if people are paying attention to you, pay attention to them. +1, comment, share. What we do. Okay, level 3. It's never time, it's always priorities, because this one comes up all the time. Don't give yourself a hard time. Why not? Just realize that if you're not doing something, your priorities are elsewhere. That's how it is. But it comes up because you'll get busier and busier as time goes on. If you're in the Academy, you get busier and busier as the levels go up. Okay, level 4. Google Communities, Google Plus Communities, should not be about gathering more members. It should be about the extent of connection and belongingness they feel towards the brand of which they are now an integral part. Get nods off David Anland. It's always good when I get nods off David Anland. I always try to be assured.
I thought you said David Anland was nodding off.
Yeah, well, that's
No chance.
Okay, you know a level 5 tip that I had this week? I think I know what it is actually. Was it level? Oh, do you know what? I didn't think it was that. People appreciate warmth and generosity more than perfectionism. There you go.
great tip.
Okay. We're going to come out a little bit. What's going to happen next with you guys? What's going on today, tomorrow? And I'm going to come to the shout-outs with you.
Well, we're constantly doing more and more studies. So we have 2 in the hopper for Google Plus right now.
Yeah.
The first one will be a follow-up to the one that Edward Moribus, I think I have the name right, did a while back, where he looked at 2,800 Google Plus profiles and drew some conclusions about usage. Interesting that he did that. He did a very creative way of doing it, but a lot of people criticize it because they didn't look at enough profiles.
Okay.
So we looked at 500,000 because we figured that's a larger number.
Yeah.
And so that'll be coming out in about 2 weeks. And then behind that, we already have the data, and we're processing the data for a Google Plus engagement study.
Nice.
So we're going to be able to tell you like the level of impact for images, or mentioning other people, or including links, or photos, or videos, or whatever. And very excited about that one too.
Awesome. And let me just say for people, because Mark and I connected 3 years ago, wasn't it? Really? And Eric and I connected almost 2 years ago, probably in the July, was it?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Coming up on 2 years, yeah.
Eric's always kind of PYB if he wants to be there, if he wants to shout out to me and to do. He's so realize the relationship, and this pair together, when it comes to search, are very, very clever. And they understand, but they understand how to bring it down to earth. Stone Temple Consulting is a very successful company. So I appreciate Ronnie Bincer connecting us online, because that's exactly what we've been doing.
Exactly.
Now I'm going to ask you to leave and bring Ronnie in, because I want to tell another connection for those there. But it's lovely you could be here.
Thanks
Thank you both.
Yeah,
hey,
absolutely. Thanks for having us. Our pleasure.
Lovely. Thanks. And as Ronnie comes back in, I know I've told this story many, many times. And then we're going to come to some shout-outs for the Academy members soon. And I know everyone's sitting there, but Ray and Mary and George and David. I know it's me speaking, Travis, who's working the camera, was connected to me by Ronnie. And it's kind of just how it works. And if you get on and you've got something to bring to the party, this is how it all happens. And because of this tool, it makes life easier when you're online just to be able to jump into a hangout that you can just ping somebody or you ping them on the thread. It's all within one ecosystem. And I think that just returning back to what I was saying about the mobile is a different experience to desktop. Desktop is far more immersive. Desktop is like a dashboard, essentially, when you have everything kind of in one place. So when people talk about the different parts, and then they talk about streams or the stream, and they talk about streams includes Blogger as well. But if they talk about the stream and they talk about photos and talk about Hangouts, when you're in the immersive environment dashboard type place, and you've got communities and then you've got events, you kind of go,
what's the big deal?
Yeah, but, and it's all there. Yeah. It's all kind of there. And when you're on a mobile, you see it as different. So we've got to think, what's Google doing here? And Eric and Mark's still in the room. They're fiddling with the phones, but they're still in the room. Google will want more people to use Google products and services. Jay Bear talked about this. Tag Jay in it. Love Jay. He's great. Went to he hosted the party. Thanks for the speakers party last night. If you're not following any of these people, you want to follow all of these people and give them a shout out to them. They are amazing. They're leaders. Jay talked about how when WhatsApp. Did you see this? And when WhatsApp was bought by Facebook, I think it was, and it's what, 13.6 billion. It's like they're connecting to a user base that they didn't otherwise have, or with a level of engagement within their apps. So Google are looking at adoption. And they're looking at the differentiation, and internally they talk about these different areas of business. But what's going on is the more people potentially will start using aspects, as opposed to necessarily using a whole app.
When you say start using aspects, you mean
for instance,
parts and pieces?
Potentially, I mean, there's no check, but potentially. There's something which is people could download a Hangout app and they could download a photo. I mean, that change I don't believe is there on an iPhone. We don't have the experience because we're on Android.
Yeah,
it's totally different. But realize that Google are doing a lot of things, Eric's nodding, that many of us will have no idea about. But it's all about connecting people in new ways. And it's moving forward. And so I think we do the shout-outs and probably move towards wrapping up.
Okay.
Should we do the shout-outs?
You bet. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. That's not a shout-out.
It's okay. There you go. Nikki, you're on the thread. You didn't know this was going to happen. I'm giving you a shout-out. So it's great to connect with you, and I know you're connecting with many, many people. And Nikki's passed her level 1. So good. Nikki Pasco. And please circle people. But then connect with them, find out what they do. Peter Feltham is now a Trailblazer cadet, so he's in level 2. I've had curry with Peter, and he knows that I like extremely hot curries. Lovely, lovely chap. And David, have you connected? You've connected with Peter, David, haven't you? Because of the whole AI stuff. Yeah. Ray Lane, level 3. Mexico, we connected. I don't know. 2 years ago, we were pretty connected now. And super guy. You want to make sure he's there. Travis, we've got. Janine Marriott. One of the kindest, loveliest people you're going to meet on Google+. Circle Janine. Extremely competent. She's getting into schema, and so she may well become an authority in that area and a niche around that. She's level 4 cadet. And we've got Ronnie Bincer here, and we've got Mark Traffic, and we've got David, who are all at level 5s, and then we have George and Mary and Ray, who are all in the level 4. And Travis, huge thanks for everything you do for Plus Your Business. A huge thanks for today. Wouldn't it be nice to have a studio like this?
Yeah.
All of the time doing the Plus Your Business show. That'd be good to get to that point.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's what we're working towards. You know, we're working towards it all. It's just a few more things to do. So, last thoughts, comments, questions. I'm coming back into the film strip. Start with David, and then let's come across.
Well, I think every time we look closely at the technology, what it does and how we use it, we come up or come down to the same thing always. It's connecting people to people. And that's what Google is doing. If the connection isn't there, it has no meaning. If there's no meaning, it has no future. And that's worth bearing in mind pretty much in everything we do, because everything we do actually has an impact and it has an effect.
Yeah.
And we now need to be aware of that.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Great. Thank you. I'm just looking at that. Hi to Wayne Brett that's on the thread as well, and there's lots of other people. So you can tell there's multitasking going on, David.
It's okay, no problem.
The example, for instance, this morning, it's quite interesting. There's a lady called Sam. Just making sure. Do you want my mind? Yeah.
Is this like a boy called Sue thing, right?
Well, I went there. There was an anagram I was meant to remember, but it's okay. It's okay. But she was talking about search results, and she didn't realize that all search results on gov.com were private. Huh. And so people that were around, this is on the walk this morning, I was explaining. I said, you just don't know, because it's changed. People don't see now because it's become the norm. And you just get used to that, and that's kind of what happens with Google. It changes, and then people kind of like, unless you're in it, you just have the experience. Yeah. Just have the information that comes. You go, oh, that person's recommending that. Well, that person's contents are rising. So realize if you are here now, and you understand what we're talking about, the difference between personalized search, the whole world doesn't necessarily have that experience.
Yep.
They just put in the search inquiry, and stuff comes out, and we're looking at the behind the scenes. So it's connecting you to the information and connecting you in new ways, and it's very, very clever. David, you're a master at describing these things for people, but the opportunity is really, so to say, but the opportunity. Listen to David Amerland. That's what I'm saying. I listen to David Amerland a lot. So thanks, David. George.
Yes. So everybody is down there connecting with each other, and you have a community now of people in the social media world. But I was thinking about just in this HOA and in this event, look at all the people that are connected together that would have otherwise never encountered each other, and the magic that can happen, connections.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm before I come to Mary Stovall, for those that are 53 minutes in, I've been saying a phrase for a while, and then I spoke with Chris Brogan on Monday. I realized I think I got it from him, and I think it was in a private hangout probably about a year ago, and we were talking about. I was talking about well, I don't even know if I was ready to call it the Academy then, but this was probably 4 months before the launch when I'd interviewed him, and the phrase, which I've now said to lots of people, and coming across to Mary intentionally after this point, because Mary's been wonderful at moving the culture forward, you can't eat hugs. And I'm pretty sure I got it from Chris, because he says in a blog post that has the you can't eat effing hugs if you search for it. I was like, I've edited it and I'm taking it, but I'm pretty sure it came from Chris. But he wrote that maybe 2006 or something like that. Now, the culture on Google+, we love being connected. But there also needs to be a business model that allows us to sustain the effort in this direction, and that's what we're building within such a business. And people like Mary are phenomenal at enabling people to move on. And we can quicken the journey that it takes because we have come together and we have access to all of this knowledge and all this information. So thank you, Mary. Would you like to say a few words?
I'll just say thank you, Martin. It's super important.
I've been Marvin a few times today.
I know.
People call me Marvin. I know what's going on. No. I might change my name. I can't like that.
I do.
Sarah Hill called me Marvin once. And it just the hilarity on air. People were like, anyway.
We do know who you are, but I do appreciate the support and the help I had coming up through and continued support, this week with all of you all in there. So I'm here to help. Let me know if you need help and you want more questions or answers. We're here. That's why we're here.
Awesome. Thank you, Mary. Ray Hiltz. I love the branding on your show, by the way. Every time I see it, I think it's just fantastic.
Oh, thanks a lot, Martin. I just want to say, first of all, this setup is amazing. I think you've got the start here of an afternoon talk show, Martin. I think it's the sofa, the guests coming in and out. You got San Diego in the back. It's great. But also, what's cool about this is that it shows off to everybody who hopefully will come across us, who's not in our sort of circles, that this is what you can do with Hangouts.
Yeah.
It's absolutely incredible. It's more than that sort of just webcam camera and you're sitting at the desk. This is like very animated and very dynamic. I love it. The other thing I want to say is that, first of all, I'm here in Montreal. I was doing some work. I get a ping from Martin saying, oh, come on, join in. Now I'm in this kind of virtual San Diego space with all these great dudes and that I've met over the years on Google+. How great is that? I love it.
Well, glad you could be here, Frank.
His lighting is great.
Yeah, your lighting is great.
Thanks.
Good. So, last, as we move to we're going to go to the hour because we've got 3 minutes. Ronnie Bincer.
Sir.
What would you like to say to everybody?
I'm honored to be part of this. I'm honored to be part of what we're about to do, and I'm looking forward to what the pro community has in store for all of us.
Thank you.
That's the main thing.
I love these guys.
You guys want to
I do. Do you want to come on in? It's a journey, everybody, and this is the beginning
Switch
to us catching the wave.
Can you slide in a little, Ronnie, and stand?
You know, cuddle up. We got.
I don't even see.
Right there you go.
We're buds.
Look at this.
We've known each other for a long time.
Isn't that nice? So, over to you. How can we help? What do you need to know? We are. Hopefully, you know this. If you plus mention me, I get an email, and I will pick up my emails. If you ask me a question, I'll do my utmost best to come and answer. If I get plussed in on everything, then I may just plus one your comments up. But if you ask me a question, I'll do my best. If you have a question that you absolutely want guaranteed answering right away, and so go to the Plus Your Business community, drop it in, and if you really want, you can tag me as well. But we're building out a team. This is what the Academy's been doing, is building out a tremendous amount of support. These guys, Eric, I can learn so much from continuing, but it's been 2 years. Actually, these guys were here from the beginning, and for me in my Google Plus journey. Eric's gone board after a year, so 2 years almost in. We're all doing this together. We're all helping each other out. And that's, I want you to understand you're part of it. Just ask what we can do. Just say. And also, if you've got things that you think and you're kind of embarrassed about asking because you expect to ask, it's fine. We just do our best to answer. So that's the final bit, really. It's about you, and it's about how we can help you get to where you want to get to using Google products and services. Also, going beyond the ecosystem and saying, what about Twitter? Martin Holmes. Please tag Martin. He knew I knew he was going to get a shout out because he's running my Twitter account today. I reply, not very often, but I do reply. Come and see me on Google Plus if you're on Twitter. Come and see me over here because if you plus mention my name, I get an email, and I am guaranteed because I live in that interface. Whereas on Twitter, I actually got a tweet text, but Martin's running my account. He's done a great job. He loves the AI stuff that I've got really into and the singularity. David, we had fun with this today, haven't we?
Absolutely, yeah.
So we're here. We're going to show you more stuff on Pinterest, more stuff on LinkedIn, more on blogging. We're going to reach out. But we are centered, and the communities are centered on Google+. So come say hi if you're new, and if you are already part of any of the things that we're doing, any of the levels, any of the other communities, then thank you for being part of it. Without you, we wouldn't be here now. So, Thank you all.
Thank you.
All right.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Good to be with you.
See you all soon.
See you guys.
Cheers.
And thanks to everybody in the
There you go.